So, welcome back to a very special episode of The Careful Boys. We're very careful boys.
Wow.
And today we are talking about how it's been 1 year since the collapse of UST and Luna going.
Does this mark the anniversary?
Officially a year now.
Oh, it's just like yesterday. I lost $1.6 million in a matter of 24 hours.
I lost 1.1 million.
But you guys, it worked out in your favor, though, right? In the end.
I mean, how so? I could have way more money.
No, it didn't, Kalyne.
Did it? I mean, like it could have been.
My
way worse.
$75
I
investment
mean,
is now gone.
So much worse, right?
Real talk. Let me tell you the lie that I tell myself.
Right?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I'm trying to help you guys out here.
No, I appreciate it.
This is how I cope.
We appreciate it.
This is how I cope. I learned to stand up and fight again. But no, in all honesty, like I opened up Jumbi in Hawaii, right? The whole point of that is because I wanted to test my ability in a different industry outside of internet, YouTube, all that. Something that was foreign to me. And also I didn't open up a small shop. It cost me close to $1 million to open up.
Oh my
Usually
God.
small boba shops, they're a couple $100,000. But I went prime real estate. I went hardcore. I wanted to challenge myself, right? I don't think I would have taken it seriously if I had a reservoir of that much money, because I would have just done what I usually do, is outsourced and paid it out.
Your solutions?
Well, basically, because it's like if I can find a manager that has way more experience than me, then why really do all the things that I don't want to do?
Oh, okay.
I get to do all the fun stuff. I'm going to pay a manager that does the operational stuff and maybe run it. And then what I'll do is maybe the marketing and the videos and stuff that I'm more familiar with. Then I'm not learning anything. But that drove me to a point where I don't have enough funding. I got to put every single penny that I got. I'm starting over completely. It just felt like I was starting over. And
We cashed you out a little bit of Luna, though.
you know what? I had enough just so I didn't have to go too much into debt to restart again. Yeah. But because of that, it drove me with the fire to feel like I can't lose this and I have to learn everything. So the pressure created a different mindset of I lost everything and now I have to begin from scratch. Yeah. And that feeling was actually so fun. As weird as it is, I think when you get to a certain point of comfort, there's nothing driving you like the way that when you first started going full time on your passions. And then I forgot that feeling because it's been over 15 years on YouTube. Yeah. So then once that happened, it was oh, this is what they mean by challenging yourself to the point of, I don't know what's gonna happen. And it was so scary, but I was ooh, fuck, I learned so much. And then now I'm out of it and I'm hey, that wouldn't have happened if I had a cushion. Yep. So, yeah.
So you guys were able to at least cash out your initial deposits, your principals, though, right?
Nope.
Well, I cashed out more than that because I didn't put that much in. I put in $28,000. So I got to 1.2 million, and then I cashed out $100,000, and then I saw the rest of it go to fucking. I think to give myself a little bit of credit, it went to 85 cents from $1 million. So yeah, it's not that bad.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I wasn't able to cash out any of my principals, so I just went straight negative.
Oh, me too, bro.
Yeah. So it definitely put me back maybe $70,000 or something like that.
Because that's what you put in?
Basically, yeah. That's for me personally.
Yeah.
I lost a little bit more than that.
I'm down.
Other stuff.
I put in 300. I'm down 150. So let's go.
Hey, dude. I put 28 in, but that's probably my downfall. Is I only put $28,000 in, and I turned it into $735,000 with OMG. I watched that.
Well, what about Ethereum? That was your first good run.
No? Well, I turned that into OMG. That was part of it, right?
So the whole, yeah.
in total, right? And that was part of my Ethereum
From
stack.
Ethereum to this and that, and then, okay, yeah.
Move that into OMG, right? And then, watch OMG tank ass from $28 to fucking 35 cents. But then I bought some of that bottom, not as much as I could have because me and Nikki were trying to buy a house at the time. So, we're saving up for a down payment and shit like that. But then, once the market started coming back alive, I knew enough just from watching the Ethereum community sentiment to know, oh man, OMG's still building stuff. This is pretty awesome. So when Nadeem was here in this room and I was telling him, I'm like, hey, I think OMG's going to $10. He thought I was a fucking wizard. He thought, like, there's a day where OMG went from 35 cents to $10, and Nadeem was like, Steve Green's a fucking wizard. I don't know how he does it. And I'm like, no. It's not that. It's that I'm just paying attention to community sentiment. The community thinks that it could go there. And that changes things in your mind, right?
Sounds like wizard shit to me.
Yeah, exactly. But that makes things, it elevates the ceiling of something. So when you hear a price of something, right, it doesn't sound that expensive if everyone in the community is saying they think it's going to go there. So that's why I was like, I think it's going to $10.
It's like price anchoring.
Exactly.
So like whatever your expectations are, it won't shock anyone if it hits it.
And if you're in the mix with the community and you're paying attention to what people are saying, you can actually come up with pretty reasonable price targets, right? Problem with Luna is just that I got so greedy because I only put $28,000 in, turned into $1.2 million, and then it's like, oh, well, I don't have that much skin in the game, so let's just fucking go. Let's see what happens, right?
Yeah.
Well, when your expectation is 10 mil and then you're only 10% of it, then...
Mine was 2.5, I'll be honest. I really was like, I'll get 2.5 and get the fuck out. But that was so greedy, because I told corners...
I mean, you did some phenomenal moves and you didn't cash out.
I know, exactly. But I told my corners, my crypto corners, right, I was like, hey, look, when Luna hits 50, I'm going to unstake, and when Luna hits 100, I'm cashing out. I didn't do it, right? I didn't stick to my own price target, right?
Too.
We talked about it outside.
I was in December, I was telling you, hey, Steve, I think I'm going to cash out.
Yeah.
And then did I do it? No, I moved it into UST thinking that's cashing out.
Yeah. That's another thing. So
Yeah.
so then we get to the time where it's like, oh man, I could really I remember Christmas time of 2021, I was like, man, I showed my mom my crypto portfolio and shit on $28,000 investment. She's like, oh, that's so sick, you came back and all that shit. But then I really should have maximized that shit. I didn't. But then when Putin started firing shit off, me and Anthony were talking, I'm like, yo, Anthony, I'm gonna fucking cash out like 100 G's. I feel like a bitch, I'm sorry I'm such a pussy. And I apologize to Anthony, I apologize to my wife, and I apologize to my father. I was like, I'm sorry you guys married and raised a bitch because I am cashing out 100 grand. But I did, and that is the only reason I'm still alive in this game right now,
Wow.
which is wild.
Yeah.
You learn from that though.
I was greedy. I didn't listen. I should have cashed out too at that time. We were all up.
Sometimes it pays to be a bitch.
I know, and I didn't know. I didn't know what I didn't know, right? I just knew I was.
But also, when you think long game, right? Like we're gonna be playing this game till we're 80 years old.
100%.
It's like
We're not
when you
75.
when you think about it that way, like it's not so much like I needed this. I mean, I did, but the game's not over. I'm still.
No.
It's like when you mentally prepare for it, you know that's. I mean, it still hurts to feel the blows, but that's almost like becoming a pro fighter, right? Like if you're a pro fighter like me, you go into the ring and you take it like a man. You don't expect to not get hit.
Yep.
You'd be an idiot to believe that you're like immortal. Like you're going into the ring and it's a battle. Like it's like.
And tonight's a little different, right? Because like it's a year removed, right? And since then I was just like, okay, well. And when this happened, dude, I lost $1 million live, right? I'm doing Crypto Corner every night, and I'm like, okay, well, look, we're just gonna do it again, right? That's all there is to it. We're just gonna have to do it again. And since then, in the last 6 months of Woo, I'm up like fucking 80%. And you look around the market, and most of the smarties in the market, they're buying shitty things like Cardano, stuff that sucks, stuff that if you want to buy it and just fucking, you might as well put a nail gun to your head. What's the point? Why live if you're gonna buy something like Cardano? You can't even buy a fucking equity stake in Cardano. There's so much supply. Y'all are fucking dumb buying Cardano. But they clown on me. Those Cardano guys, they're like, oh, well, Steve was in that Luna shit. And they're like, oh, cool, dude. Well, I'm glad I'm not you. At least I went to fucking zero, but I pulled 100K out. What the fuck did you do with Cardano? You're down 4%. I'm up 80% in 6 months at the same time, you bitches. Fucking little cunts.
It is dope to reflect like a year later when you are a year removed because you can kind of see like what you ended up doing after. I remember, and this is like some real shit too, right? When we were fucking up, there was a point where I was like, oh shit, my life's gonna change. Like the things that I was like putting so much time and effort, all the dance stuff, I was like, there's no point because the amount that I can make off of like crypto and stuff like that is like 100x what I'm making in a year for like dance stuff. So there was a part where I was like genuinely and mentally starting to transition, away from like thoughts of my regular hustle. And then I remember when we fucking lose it all, that was emotionally like really, really heavy. To lose like 7 figures in like less than 40 hours.
And nobody feels sorry for you.
Thank you.
No, I'm talking about us, the greater us.
Got it. Yeah,
Everyone's like, well, cool, you should have cashed out, you fucking idiots.
Yeah, exactly. So, and people were fucking committing suicide at that time. So
way less.
Yeah, you had to really. I remember having to talk to really close friends, and they were just like genuinely be like, "Yo, dude, like, at least trying to look at the optimism of it. Be like, hey, man, like, you still got a lot of things going on in life. Like, it's not over, blah blah blah." And you're coaching yourself to bounce back, and then you're telling yourself, you're like, all right, I'm just gonna have to kill it in regular life again. Now a year removed, I can say that I'm actually like proud of like what I was still able to do outside of it. I went back to like my dance hustle. I went kind of back to the foundation of like what it is that I normally do and stuff like that. And I actually killed it harder in this last year than I have in the last like 5 years probably because I had this like back to the bottom like Joe said. Yeah. There's just this huge, just like this, whether it be a part pride and a part just like, desperation, like your back's in a corner and you're like, you have to fucking hustle hard to make it out. And you feel like you've let down yourself, feel like you let down your wife, you feel like you let down your family, you know what I mean? Yeah. But a year removed, I'm like, oh shit, I really did put into play that fire and I ended up having one of the most like, intense hustles and hardcore success years that I've had in a long time because of it. So I'm thankful for it. I'm not a fucking millionaire right now like we should have been. Yeah. But, it's like, it's dope to still see that, like, you're not, it's just money. That's what everybody's telling you.
Numbers on screen.
And it hurts at the time, but it's just money.
Yeah. It's numbers on screen until you cash it out. Yeah. But that was my problem, right? I put in $28,000, so I had a lot of leeway. And I've been through so many bear markets. It was a
false sense of security?
100%.
Because it wasn't harder money?
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah. I wasn't that staked, right? Like, I wasn't that invested. I loved this stuff already. So I'm like, oh, I love this stuff, and I fucking crushed it. Like, that's awesome. And I crushed it multiple times. Cool, I'll do it again. But I will do it again, and I am doing it again. But that's the beauty, right? Here I am a year removed, and I'm up on the market compared to most people, like fucking 80%. But that's the beauty of caring about it, loving it, like spending the time on it. But many people don't. Many people just stay in their stupid investments and they don't pivot and they will never pivot. And yes, it's funny coming from me because I'm like adorned in woo gear. But the woo thing for me is just a commitment that I have to the space. Yeah. It's not about woo. It's about like knowing that I know the process to get myself to the next place. But I'm also not so fucking cocky that I don't sit here and go, well, we went to zero, we went to zero, we went to zero. Like, I say it all the fucking time because it's funny. like I have to use both. Like, you can't take yourself too seriously. Those people suck. So,
well, I mean, in crypto, it's like a religious cult. So people have their coin, but also there's the marketing aspect of it. Like, they do want a value pump, right? So, like, if you could get to the perceptions of people, and then they believe your coin's gonna go to the moon, then you have more people joining the movement.
It's a price target.
But for us, it's almost like we believe in crypto, but we're not loyal to a coin.
Exactly.
Because that's how, it's like stocks. Like, yeah, people used to say, oh, stocks are a scam, whatever. And it's like, stocks are here to stay.
Exactly.
But I don't believe in one company. I think you should probably
just be in the market, though.
Be in the market.
Beats time in the market, right? So that's the thing. It's like, so here we are, right? It's today, right? The 6th of May. But like the market is basically still alive. And everyone thought this time last year it wasn't. It was dead. Crypto's dead. Hey, I heard crypto died, so sorry about that. Hey, I heard crypto died. How many times did we hear that? Like, the whole time.
We've been hearing it since 2000, what, 12?
Since 2017, big time. Because once that market collapsed.
Normies came into the game.
And the alts came in, and then everyone's like, well, the alts all collapsed, so, like, you guys are fucking idiots. But, no, it's just a beautiful, honestly, it's a beautiful, moment of remembering what happened. But also, we're here at a $1.3 trillion market cap. If you think crypto's dead, you're nuts. Don't ignore it, right? Like, don't miss it either. So yeah, how do you feel about it, bro?
Me?
Yeah. Because you're the most neutral observer there could be.
I don't know.
You saw it go down.
Yeah.
I did, but I didn't put that much. I think in total when it went down, I only had like 8,000, 9,000 in there. But I've only ever done anything you said to do because I don't know shit. And the extent of my knowledge is watching what you guys do and then listening to the reasons. So I don't really care to extend it too much beyond that. You know? But I felt like, holy shit, this is a pretty big fucking thing that's happening to you guys. But then you also said this isn't the first time it happened, so I wasn't too worried.
Yeah.
You know? That's part of the game,
The first
isn't it?
one was OMG. That was like 800,000 for me, and that went down.
Yeah. So
Whether
you guys
that-
talking about that, it
Yeah.
didn't seem like, you know, if this was the first time, I would be like, oh shit, these guys don't know what the fuck they're doing. No, but it's like.
But because it's the second time, these guys really don't know what the fuck they're doing.
The thing for me, I'll be straight up. The thing for me is just selling, right? Because the thing for me is selling. Because I really, make fun of me all you want for Luna going to zero and shit. I turned a small amount of money to $1 million.
Pick 'em, Steve.
This guy is a millionaire multiple times.
And by the way, Steve's strength here is he knows how to pick them. So it's like, it's not just those 2 coins. He consistently picked out several throughout this journey where we were able to roll one to the other.
It did what he
been
said it
fun,
was
man.
going to do.
But I think, we sold it to roll it into the ultimate, right? And in the ultimate pumped. But the issue is, I think I lacked the understanding of basic fundamentals when it comes to investing. Crypto was my casino. And I'm just here.
how I always saw it.
You know what I mean? Like there's certain rules to investing. After I failed, I started studying it and I'm like, okay, so it's pretty normal to take a little profits incrementally as you go up. You don't want to be too you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket because if there's Achilles heel or it gets taken down, your whole wealth is gone. And these are the basic principles that sound like duh, but it's like age-old ways to protect yourself if you're going to do something like this.
Yeah.
And we didn't do it. And I deserve losing it all for not following the basic fundamentals.
I also know enough about it to see how often it's went up for all of you guys, and twice it's dove. So it's like I get the ratio and I understand enough to know what kind of an anomaly happened with Luna, and that's not a normal thing that occurs with most coins.
It was very unusual.
Yeah. Right.
But that's the thing. You should be able to withstand a pullback and then still have like a bag.
Yeah.
There was no bag to be had.
This was a crazy history kind of type of moment, right?
And we still don't know what happened. I'm not saying, we know it wasn't a scam or anything like that. Anthony's watching the Lakers game, piece of shit. But I'm not saying we don't know. I'm saying we don't know enough to just judge and say, we know. And that's the thing. But everyone does on the internet. But like the thing now, right, moving forward, coming away from it, the biggest takeaway for me is just that moment that I thought I was the smallest, the moment that I thought I was the biggest pussy, and I was apologizing to my wife and my father, was the moment that I saved myself.
Yeah, that's
in the
ironic,
space.
yeah.
I kept myself alive in the game. And I hope, and I know I'll remember that, but I hope that people can kind of...
Live to fight another day.
Damn right.
But then that's how it was. Like right after that happened, you were back to work, and
Next day.
and I was still like, all right, what's next? And he just went woo, and I went cool. 13 cents looks good. Look at it now. Like
That's why you guys are the best.
the game just goes. You know
what I think? Also, looking back, I'm like, the thing that where we were like working together in unison is also what fucked us. Because if one of us had the strength to go, hey, we should cash out at least 50%, let's get out of here, and then started that, versus, nah, we gotta stay in, I believe in it, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Yeah, well, that was the thing about like the Putin thing. As I was like, hey, Anthony, like we should just like, get the fuck out a little bit.
But that's like 10%.
Yeah,
Like
but
we should have like, you know what I mean?
Like
Like,
been hammer on it. Yeah.
like there's no, we're just so like supportive to the point where it's like, oh, you gonna stay in? All right, I'm gonna stay in. Hardcore, you know?
Well, that's the thing too. Is I'm like, man, okay. Well, Luna this time last year, it got attacked. UST got attacked. Slipped the peg. Went to 80 something cents. We rebounded, right? They and since then they've strengthened it.
Yep.
They have now Bitcoin, $3.5 billion. They're gonna back it with, but they didn't have the mechanism yet. So they announced to the market how to kill Luna, and then they challenged the billionaires to do it.
So funny.
Yeah.
Bold. And then we were like, yeah, I'm gonna chill. I'll chill here.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was such a wild time. You didn't even know what the fuck was going on.
I was making $14,000 a month on staking rewards.
Jeez.
You think I gave a fuck? It's insane.
It's hard to let that go.
Insane.
Just off staking?
Staking rewards.
That's crazy.
It's insane.
Fun time, man. It was a
When
fun.
it plummeted, it was freaking shooting like a goddamn rocket, man.
The whole market was pulling in but us.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta buy them Ponzi's, man. You gotta buy
You
them.
gotta buy the Ponzi's.